These guys gonna be my lunch pretty soon. Singlei's cutting them up right now. Yeah. Oh, you want to eat the head? Yeah. She likes to eat the head. And I know you purrs are going to think something bad, but, you know. I'm talking about the fish. Yeah. Gonna have a fish stew. Curry? Ah, fish curry. Nice. Alright guys, something's on fire over there. When I first saw the clouds, I thought, or when I first saw the black, I thought they were just clouds, but something is on fire very close to my apartment. And I don't know what it is. Ooh. Yeah, that was a very delicious fish curry though. I hear pops. I hear noises. Like little explosions. Whoa. Not sure what to make of that. All I know is our apartment is right here. And all that smoke is coming from right there on the other side of those bushes. Wow. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. All right. If I find out, I will let you know. Talk to you later. No, it appears to be spreading now over there by that apartment building. It was coming from over here that I just showed you now. It's heading toward that apartment building. I'm not sure what it is. I know people have been calling what I assume is 911 here, but I don't hear any sirens or see any response yet. But that is dangerously close to that apartment building. Yeah. Very close, very dangerous. And not to leave you hanging, but I hear the sirens now. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but looks like they're on the way. When I posted the pictures on Facebook, one of my friends, Lee, said, "Oh, is Senglai cooking again?" Now I'm not going to be the one to even go there with her, but oh. Not to make light of the situation, but that was pretty funny. And it looks like it's diminishing. Seems to be going out. I don't think it's a building or anything. But as you can tell over there, it's all shrubbery and green, and people here sometimes burn their trash. It gets left unattended. I don't know why it was so dark though, why that it was very thick, dark gray, the smoke, so I'm not sure what it was that was actually burning. Now it appears that the smoke is white or lighter. I'm guessing that's a good thing because there's not as much of it. And hopefully nobody got hurt. All right. If I find out anything more, I'll let you know. But it'll probably just get put out and won't get mentioned again. Talk to you later. Alright, well, so far we've seen fish, a fire, and a funeral. And I got to thinking, that might be a pretty bummer way to start the video. But we'll try to end it on a happy note. Here's the Siem River. As you can see, they have some kind of net around the edge of where all the algae is. For some reason, there's a boat, so I'm sure there's a reason for it. But the river's kind of cleared up over here, and then it gets up here, and they have some sort of nets. Not sure what the purpose is, maybe somebody else knows. But I also had a comment about walking around here, if I can walk okay around here, from a gentleman. He says he's over 70 years old. And I guess that's going to depend on your level of mobility, if you have any health issues. I know I see people all the time that have to be in their late 70s, early 80s here, foreign people, and they walk around everywhere. And I see others who can barely, hobble along and have to take tuk-tuks everywhere. So that is going to depend on your level. But the reason why it's difficult sometimes is because of things like this. You're walking down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden you come across this that you will have to walk and negotiate over. You will have to pay attention. As you can see, it's uneven at times. The tiles are shaky and not even. There's nothing here really made for any kind of a wheelchair access or anything like that. So if your mobility is affected in any way, you will find it difficult to walk around town. Plus, of course, as you can see, people just park anywhere, so you might have to step off the curb, walk into the street. And if you do that, of course, you will have to pay attention for cars and motorbikes that will come from all different directions, even if it's a one-way street. So, there are a lot of, sometimes there are just big gaping holes in the ground, along a walking area, and they're not very well marked. Most of the time you'll just see somebody put a stick in the hole to try to warn people. But if it's dark or you're not paying attention, it would be really easy to not see it. So yeah, the infrastructure is not great, and you do have to watch your step. It's always best to be looking ahead and looking down so you don't hurt yourself, but at the same time you can't just stare at the ground because of all the traffic and all the other people. So it can be challenging. You really do have to pay attention. But like I said, your ability to get around is going to depend on you. Your age doesn't really matter. It's how healthy you are to be able to do that. And it's also a little bit harder if you're walking around filming like I do, because trying to keep my eyes on the ground, trying to keep my head on a swivel to watch out for traffic, and also trying to keep my eye on the camera to make sure it's pointed in the direction I want it to be pointed. And of course trying to keep my train of thought as much as is possible for me at the same time. But I like walking. Still my preferred method of getting around. I've said this before, the town of Siem Reap, the proper area of town, is not really that big. Maybe 45-minute walk to get to the edge of some of the outer areas. Anything after that, I think you would probably want to take some form of transportation. There are certain times of the day when you probably don't want to be out and about. Late morning, early afternoon are the worst, because those are the hottest times of the day. The sun can be pretty brutal, and if you do go out, you always want to make sure to at least keep your head covered up, wear sunscreen if you have exposed skin, and stay hydrated. But yeah, I still prefer walking. Only because when you're walking, I think you see the most interesting things. When you're on a tuk-tuk or a motorbike, you're kind of just going from point A to point B, and you're just kind of riding by, and you miss a lot of things that way. When you're walking, you see something cool down a little alley, you can head in that direction, find out what it's about, and you might find something you never knew existed before. Something really cool. I found a lot of neat things here just by doing that, getting lost, walking around, trying to negotiate my way back home. Oh, sorry about that. I got some flies buzzing around me. But yeah, that's why I prefer to walk. Second line, not so much. She doesn't like to walk. She's picking up gunk by the side of the road, saying it's good for you. You can cook it and eat it. Eat? Yeah. Yeah, that's for her. Yeah, she doesn't like to walk. She gets tired. She gets tired and or a little sweaty, and she starts getting a little whiny. So usually we'll walk somewhere. Might take 15-20 minutes, and when we're done, take a pass app back. Nothing else going on today. I have my classes tonight. Weekend classes went really well. We started a new level of vocabulary learning. Played a game I thought was rather fun, and hopefully the students did too. We were talking about the difference between a quote and a paraphrase. What is the difference? We learned those two words, to quote somebody and to paraphrase somebody. So to reinforce it, I simply went to the internet. I found 10 popular, well-known quotes, the actual word-for-word thing somebody said. And then I wrote my paraphrase of those quotes on the whiteboard. And what I did was read the paraphrase, and they would have to associate words in the paraphrase with the meaning in the actual quotes and tell me which quotes went with which paraphrase. I thought that was pretty interesting. It went well. We learned a lot. Had some fun. Obviously, we're downtown right now. It's pretty warm today, even though I'm sure you've heard the breeze and the microphone. It is windy and breezy at times, but ooh, that sun is pretty hot. 93 degrees the last time I checked the weather. All right. Get across this road. Gonna head down here to the old market, Sacha. Pick up some things for dinner later this afternoon. And somebody else mentioned in one of my comments that they like, wherever they go, they prefer markets where there are more locals and like hardly, if any, foreigners, because that's where you can find the more practical stuff, the things you can actually use, the things people locally buy for their day-to-day. And I have to agree, that's why, I mean, this one here is more geared toward tourists, because tourists like souvenirs. They like to buy t-shirts and hats and, you know, all that good stuff. But still, the food market is pretty good. And some of the other markets have the same thing, but not in abundance. They tend to stick to more things that they know local people will want to buy and use. Well, she stopped for something. So here's another example of what I'm talking about. These little tiles right here. You can see how they move. They're not secure, so if you're walking, be careful. But yeah, plus here in town, this is the closest one to our apartment, and it's a tad more expensive than like Salu or one of the outer markets, but because we don't have to take a pass app or tuk-tuk, where works out to be about even. But yeah, if you're coming here looking for less touristy markets, go into the outer edges of Siem Reap. Sakralan is one. Yeah, I've been out there a few times. I've never seen another foreigner. It is a ways away. It would be like a 45-minute walk, but
just a couple dollars in a pass app or something. I have seen some foreigners at Salu, but for the most part, not that many. And the ones I did see just seemed to be interested in looking, not actually buying. Ooh. Yeah. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. That's just my advice. Take it how you will. I will talk to you guys in the next one.